Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad where we get together and make a card. Today's card is really fun. It's a stand up and that's what it looks like, and then when you open it up it says for my friend, for my friend, for my friend. But it's a stand up, so it stands up. Now you can use that little flower gem as the part to stand it up, or just have it decorate the little belly button notch. Either way, it's adorable and I love it. Now, the first thing that you're gonna need, and actually we only need two main items, is the circle stand up that I designed for Sizzix. So that's easy. And also some extra circles, and I have mine from the Stamps of Life. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to die cut our base. So we're going to grab this and we're going to get the two largest pieces. So that's the main pieces we're going to use. And we need to trim down our cardstock. Now the easiest way to trim down your cardstock is just to use a long cutting pad and trim off. This we can save for later in our scrap pile. But this is the piece that we want. We're gonna lay that down, we're gonna lay our die down, and we're gonna go a little bit at an angle because we want to make sure that we don't have any speed bumps. Now it does help to have the Express machine because it has these nice little side guides here, so I can know that I'm not gonna go off the edges, which is a good idea. So we're gonna run that through. Now the die is cutting and scoring for me at the same time, which is fantastic. That crunch is always a good sound. That means it's working. So let's get that out of there. And here we have our die cut base. We're going to move that off to the side, and then we're going to use this layering die and we're going to die cut that piece there, which is really fun. Now, to add some more interest, let's go ahead and die cut some of our circles. These circles are just going to be this one here and this one here, and we're going to use the white one for the smaller one. And then we're going to use the larger one, and so that's when we're going to get out our other circles. We want one that's a little bit bigger to run that through. So we're going to open this up, and I believe it's number 4 that I want. Yep, it's a little bigger, so we're going to use that in the green. We're going to run those through. We can use a smaller cutting pad because we have less cutting. Let's get those closer together. There we go. Run those through. And then we're going to die cut this little yellow one, this little one on the yellow, and it's going to say wish you were here. But we're going to use 2 dies at the same time. Okay. So we're going to pop these out. So there's my one, there's this one. And then there's the layering piece. That's going to go on there in just a minute. Now what we have is, I'm going to do this the wrong way. Not the wrong way. I'm going to do this a different way because I want you to see why we need 2. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to add some Sizzix adhesive to the back of this. Now why am I doing that? So I don't have to add adhesive later. So we're going to get that right there, just lay that down, and then I'm just going to tear, because I'm only using some of it, I'm just going to leave that carrier sheet on there. Tear it off like that. That's okay. Okay, so there we go. So now I have adhesive on the back. I'm going to lay that down, and I'm going to lay just the inside die down, and I'm going to run that through. Now I'm using a small cutting pad so we don't have to wait for the machine to go all the way through. Okay. Now what we have is we have a fantastic die. Now you can see some of the backing, but it did all cut out. It says wish you were here, but it's still in my cardstock, which, you know, if I wanted to do it on my card, that would be fine. But it's still in my cardstock and I want it to be a disc. So I'm going to use the die that coordinates with it and run that through to give me a disc that actually cuts out. Now, at home, what you're going to do is run both through at the same time, but I wanted to show you what it would look like if you did not use that extra die. So now we're going to lay that down and we're going to run that through. And then we're going to ink it a little bit. So let's grab some scratch paper. I like to ink the edges just a little bit on some pieces. So we're going to grab our banana, and that's our banana. And I always put scratch paper underneath. Then we're just going to add a little bit of extra yummy around, because this is just going to give it a little bit more definition. There we go. Isn't that pretty? It makes it really stand out. Okay, so now remember that one white one that we cut out already. We are going to adhere that to this. Now any extra pieces you can just give a little flick. They usually come right out. The only one I see that's not is that one, and it's cut. It just needs to be poked, so I just poked it. Okay, so we're going to add that one right on top. Then we're going to add this one on the green, like so. Cute, cute. And then let's add a little pop dot to this, or foam square. Whoops, that one doesn't like that one. I'll throw that one away. Let's get some new ones. Okay, there we go. These little guys are just everywhere. Okay, so now we're gonna add this. Oh, but you know what? I just realized we haven't put down our layer yet. So let's do that too. So we're gonna peel these all up. Okay, and then let's add adhesive to the back of this. Now all the pattern paper we're using is from the Stamps of Life. We're gonna lay that down right there, line that up. We're gonna give this a fold in half on the score lines the die created for us. And then we're gonna add this guy right on top. There we go. See how cute that is? And then for the inside, let's add this little strip here. We're gonna add that to the bottom. Now what I like to do is I like to line it up to one side, and then I only have to trim the other side. So then I'm gonna hold it upside down, trim just like that so I can use the card as a guide, and look how easy that was. Then I also want to add a little flower, rhinestone, right there on that belly button notch. Right there. And then I just realized we're also going to stamp, and I need to get the stamp set because I threw it down here earlier. Here it is. Whoops. It is Happy Calligraphy to Stamp, and we're going to use For My Friend. I forgot all about this part. And I can tell that I forgot about it because see how this is? It's just all green, which there's nothing wrong with just all green. But when I add this, you're really going to see a difference. And I want you to really see that difference. So I'm going to add this block here, and I'm using the same color ink. So this is green apple, and this is green apple cardstock. And let's stamp. I don't know if this is a new set or not, so let's just stamp on scratch paper to make sure. Okay. Then we're going to stamp, and let's add scratch paper below us because we want to go off the edges a little bit. So we're going to stamp there, stamp there. We're just going to go around. Look how cute that is. Kind of making our own pattern paper here. There we go. I think, well, one more over here. But when you go off the edge like that, that really adds a lot of definition. Okay, so now we're going to just add our ribbon to the front under here. And this is our seam binding. My favorite, honestly, is the seam binding. My all-time favorite. Whenever we get to add more seam binding, I'm always so excited. It is my favorite. It's just so luscious. And there's our cute little bow. And I want to trim that a little bit more. Finally got some better scissors. Okay, now we're going to fold this on the score lines right there. And our little belly button notch, we're going to pop that up just a little bit. And when we put our stand-up card in there, if it pops out like that, that's normal. What we're going to do is see this score line here? That just means we need to score it a little bit more. Use a bone folder or the edge of a block or whatever. And now it's going to stay in that notch. And look at how adorable that is. Isn't that fantastic? So easy peasy, but so fascinating and wonderful to give. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad. See you again next week. Bye-bye. Done.
cut it early.